Hello everybody, welcome back to 10-Minute Reviews. Jason here bringing you today's video. So real fast, I don't want to make this too long for an intro, so I'm going to try and compress it. Thank you very much to our fans. Thank you very much to our patrons. Don't forget to check the links down below for links to today's book, any other applicable links. And don't forget to check the end of the videos for details on our contest. I'm going to be running a contest on the main channel, and I'm going to have a couple of contests on the Patreon, so don't forget to check that as well. Got a bunch of signed books and stuff that I want to give away. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and jump straight into today's video. Don't forget to check those links down below, guys. Got more information down there. Catch you soon. So for today's video, I'm going to be talking about an author book that has been pushed a lot on me on the Discord channel and comments on some of our other videos. It's been on my radar for a long time, and this is one of those that I want to go outside and kick myself in the nuts for not having started it sooner. This has probably supplanted every other series as my number one, absolutely most favorite lit RPG series. I'm talking about Zogarth's, I sincerely hope that's a pen name, Zogarth's Primal Hunter. This, again, has been recommended to me a bunch of times, and wow. Just wow. So, we are once again, as a lot of lit RPG books are, we are once again thrust into a system apocalypse type of situation. Our normal, everyday people. The main character of this book, Jake Thane, is, I believe he was an accountant or something along those lines. He was an office worker, just kind of your normal, everyday Joe. Now, he was an athlete in his younger years. His athletic sport of choice, archery. Archery, to the point where he even thought about and was working on or towards becoming a professional archer in a way. I didn't even know such things existed, but I'm not that into archery. I actually hope to be, though. I'm hoping to pick it up soon. But he was an archer back in the day, which, of course, when you enter any kind of system apocalypse and have to start choosing classes and things along those lines, oftentimes within these books, your circumstances around you and previous life tend to impact the sort of choices that you can make. So he, of course, gets an option for a class that does involve archery, and naturally he is going to take it. Now, like a lot of system apocalypses, the characters, once this system initializes and goes into play, they are thrust into a tutorial. Now, this time around, unlike a lot of the system apocalypse books that we've read, while the system is this overarching thing, a lot of it's not the focal point. Like, you look at the series actually called System Apocalypse. The system itself was an overarching mystery and was really controlling what people could and could not do. And at times it does feel like this system does have some sapience or sentience to it and is a little bit of a smartass. For the most part, it's not that overarching as much as other aspects within the lit RPG world itself. We've got our typical tiers of abilities, F grade, D grade, E grade, or F grade, E grade, D grade, so on and so forth, and then after S grade, or after A grade, comes S grade, which is then where they have the ability to ascend to God. So you can actually become an immortal god within this system. And in this case, the lifespans really are god level, and their powers really are god level. There are characters within this series that are tens, dozens, hundreds of trillions of years old. Basically, when the system finally initializes, it initializes an entire universe. Our universe is announced as the 93rd universe to be initialized into a system. And typically there are billions and billions, if not trillions, of years in between a universe being created, beginning, and finally being initialized. So there are gods from the very first universe ever to come online onto the system. And that actually does end up playing a part in the series as a whole. So the first book, but these tutorials are actually sponsored by gods. And it turns out there's a lot of different tutorials. Now, Jake is thrown into a tutorial that is sort of your typical survival type situation tutorial. We do learn later that there are other types of tutorials. There are business type tutorials and all kinds of different tutorials, but his is very much a survival aspected tutorial. And Jake is a little bit of an outlier in that he does have a bloodline that it turns out is extremely rare. Well, bloodlines themselves are all supposedly unique, but extremely rare. And his bloodline is quite interesting, and it allows him to do, it gives him some resistances and some immunities that play a huge part in what goes on further on into the series. And I'm trying very hard not to make any major spoilers for this. So the first book deals pretty much, it does deal entirely with the tutorial. Now, he doesn't finish the tutorial in this book, but the book deals almost entirely with the tutorial. We have factions that show up. We have different classes, different abilities. Now, of course, there are your typical beasts. There are these quests that come up, and Jake being Jake and who he is, doesn't really bow down to other people very well. And he's also, you can't call him bloodthirsty at first, but you can definitely call him willing. He is willing to defend himself. If you attack him, you better bring it, because he's not just looking to knock you out. If you attack him, you're dead. You're dead or he's dead, period. And that leads to a little bit of a rift with other people that are struggling with the tutorial, with lit RPG, with a sudden lit RPG type of system, and how it's very much survival based and power based. The stronger you are, the better off you are. So he kind of goes off onto his own thing and leaves everyone else to do their thing as well, including some people that he very much considers friends. Now, while he is doing this, he comes across you could call it a hidden dungeon, and this hidden dungeon ends up leading towards causing something that shapes this entire series. This would be a major spoiler, so I'm not going to discuss it too much, but it is both fascinating, absolutely hilarious, and quite interesting. There is a bad guy in this one that's a sociopath, very much mentally not all there, but also quite powerful. At least he thinks he is, until he runs into some buzzsaws that mess him up pretty good. But in this particular one, he's still very, very strong. There's a couple of them very, very strong. Well, one's a killer, one's a leader, and also a killer. But again, Jake has gone off to do his own thing. He has come back to check on his friends. He's made a few threats. He's backed up some of those threats. He's gone off to do his own thing. And this dungeon plays a huge part in this book. It's a big chunk of the book, and it plays pretty much, this dungeon sets the course for the entire series and the rest of Jake's life, while also adding an enormous amount of comedy to it once he really makes a strong connection with it. And again, this book, the first book, is just kind of the first part of the tutorial. Absolutely fantastic. Again, this is my #1 favorite lit RPG series. Hands down, bar none. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Go read Primal Hunter. We'll catch you guys next time. Bye now. Welcome back. So for our contests. So for the contest here on the main channel, I'm going to be running 2 contests for this month. The contest will end at the end of April. Just email me at reviewsin10@gmail.com. Put contest in the subject line so I do not skip past it. I do get a lot of emails. And I'm actually going to be running 2 contests. Email me for the first contest. Email me your suggestions for 4 categories of books. You don't have to send me 4 suggestions. Some people don't read certain categories, and that is certainly fine. Just email me your suggestions of books that I have not reviewed. Doesn't mean I haven't read them, but that I have not reviewed, in 4 genres: sci-fi, lit RPG, cultivation, and the harem lit. Of course, I'm missing fantasy, but that comes up a lot with cultivation and with lit RPG and with the harem lit, so I'm just kind of leaving that one out. And I will pick of my favorites out of that. I will pick a winner, and I have a signed copy of Advent 9 by T. Allen Horn, and that will be going to that winner. I do actually have a bunch of books for further contests as well, but it's a signed copy of Advent 9 by T. Alan Horn that I will send out to the winner. And the second contest going on the main channel is pick a book. Pick a book that you've read that I have not reviewed, and email me a quick little personal review. If you can talk me into reading that book, the winner of that one will receive a signed copy of J.J. Thorne's Apocalypse Assassin, right? Yeah, Apocalypse Assassin, which I've reviewed this one. I've also reviewed Advent 9. So again, put contest in the subject line, and if you're interested in maybe getting a complete set of Mickey Carre's or the Heavy Weight of It All Book 1, also signed, check out our Patreon. I've got 2 contests that will be going on there as well. Thanks everybody. Hope you guys enjoy the videos, and don't forget to email me. Bye now.